What is up, guys? AHappyIceBear Gaming here. I'm going to be giving you a quick little review of the Thorn hand cannon that dropped with the Rise of Iron DLC. Now, the Thorn hand cannon isn't as good as what it used to be, but it's still pretty viable and it's a very fun weapon to use. Now, I will be talking about the perks on what you should be using for PvE and PvP then, but right now we're going to talk about PvE. Now, the weapon itself, it does about 10,000 damage with my build of my character, not counting the ticks, which will do about 1,224 damage if you don't get a headshot right away. But with adding that on, it will do about 11,000, no, about 12,000, not counting the extra 1,000 or 2 with the final round in the chamber, which you'll be doing close to about 13 to 14,000 with my rough estimates that I have. So now we're going to be talking about the perks that you should be using on the gun. Now, the perks that you want to be using are Accurized Ballistics and Perfect Balance for PvE. Now, for PvP play, the weapon itself, I would give it on a rating scale out of 100, it would be about a 75 to about a 65. The only reason why I still use it is because the way it feels and the way it performs. That, and I love the lore of the weapon. If you haven't seen it yet, I would recommend checking it out. But it's a low impact, high fire rate hand cannon, which there's plenty of other ones out there, such as Ill Will and a few others. I could be completely wrong about that, about Ill Will, but as far as I know of, that's one of the other ones. Now, the perks on the weapon itself are Accurized Ballistics, Field Choke, and Aggressive Ballistics. And then you got Final Round, Snapshot, Send It, Perfect Balance, and Mark of the Devourer. Now, here's me trying out all of the ballistics and everything. With Accurized Ballistics, it drifts up and to the right a little bit, but it stays consistent. So if you can just compensate for that kick to the right a little bit, that little bit of drift, this is probably one of the best perks to use. But Field Choke, it was kind of like Accurized Ballistics, but it started like it went straight and then it started drifting and then it kind of stayed into the center point then once it finally started coming to the end of the rounds then. So it went up 2, over right, up a couple, then over right. And now for Aggressive Ballistics, I wouldn't recommend using this because it draws back your stability, but it also increases the recoil because now it shoots straight up. Now, it wouldn't be a bad option if you can control it, but I would recommend just using the Accurized Ballistics to keep your patterns just keep the pattern and everything just a little bit more easier. Now, testing it on my friend here with the body shot, it does about 53 damage plus the 4 ticks to afterwards, and then whenever you're close up, it's 79 damage and plus the ticks afterwards. Now we're going to step it back a little bit now. Now we were going to test it from a range because I was kind of curious on what it would do at range. So walking back here, it does 35 damage and plus the extra ticks, which it does 4 ticks for each shot, and then with the crit it does 52 damage and everything. Now this is with the Send It perk. This is what you're going to want to use in PvP. And now with that you get 27 damage out at range, and then whenever we go over to the headshot you'll get 40 damage. So it's terrible at range, so you're going to want to keep it up close and personal. Now, as far as the perks go for PvE, use Perfect Balance so you can easily get those headshots and everything just a little bit more quicker, and easily run the fucking Accurized Ballistics so you can easily settle your target, settle your iron sights back into the perfect position to keep firing. Now for PvP standpoint, I would recommend using Send It so you can maximize your range potential with the weapon if it push comes to shove, if you have to use it at range. Now overall, the weapon is very good still. I would recommend using it if you're a big fan of hand cannons and if you have the chance of actually getting it. Now, it's a long, painful process of actually getting it, but once you finally get it, it's so gratifying. So either way, thank you so much for watching the video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of this type of content. Sorry, this is my actual first review I've ever done for the channel, so I will get better as time goes on. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to stay up to date, and I will see you next time, YouTube.